been doing push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Tuesday. Yes, a Tuesday edition of the Ysn Power Hour here on this soggy Tuesday with several cancellations already underway. We still have hope, though. We still have hope for a few games tonight on the network, including the All-Star game that is happening at Eastwood Field just down the road. Richie Juliana will now have the coverage of that since Scene Park has been absolutely washed out. And we also have BCB, our younger generation of baseball, being washed out tonight as well. So that's our hope. And we have a great show for you today. Hopefully everybody's tuned in, ready to go, because we have one of the biggest guests we will have here on this Power Hour. Alex Trezza of Game Changer will join us, a guy whose resume just continues to stack up. We'll go over all the great things that he's done and all the great things that he's doing at Game Changer now. A true professional and a guy that I am a huge fan of. So I'm excited to have him part of the show. But first, as we do each and every day, it's time to get to On This Day in Sports History. Hit it. So given the current climate of the weather outside, I thought this was perfect. On today in sports history, on June 7th in 1989, the first ever baseball game to start outdoors and end indoors was played in Toronto as at Blue Jays Stadium as they closed the roof during the game at 8:48. During the game, they closed the roof as the Blue Jays beat the Brewers 4-2. So I thought that was interesting given the kind of what's going on right now, because some people are getting rained right now. Some people are getting absolute washed out, and some people are looking outside and wondering when this is supposed to happen. So, but the beautiful part about all of this is we have a guy on the line right now we're going to introduce who is representative of one of the the number one app in my phone, in the number one scoring app in the entire world, in Game Changer. And if your team doesn't use Game Changer, he is going to be on, and I am going to absolutely back him up 100% why you should be, because it makes your life 10 times easier and it connects you to simply everybody. So to give him the proper red carpet treatment, let's talk about Alex Trezza, who was an American college baseball classic. My guy, a former catcher like moi, who was a coach, was at Anna Maria as an assistant, Adelphi as an assistant. He was at New Haven as an assistant, Sacred Heart, LIU Brooklyn, and then Boston College. My guy was an absolute gem in every one of those programs, and now we join him right here. Alex, you're in Florida now?
Yeah, Coconut Creek, Florida, right outside of Boca.
Oh my gosh, you're living the dream where they play baseball all year round, which is perfect for you and perfect for Game Changer. You're now one of the main guys, the brand ambassador for baseball and the customer support specialist. You and I have had many conversations over the last few months. And to kick off the partnership with Game Changer and YSN, we brought you on because we want everybody to download Game Changer and utilize it. For those who don't know, can you just give a broad view of what Game Changer is and why all these teams should use it?
Yeah, well, thanks for the introduction. I don't know if all those things that you said, nice things, are true, but somewhat. But I'm grateful for our friendship and crossing paths earlier this year. So Game Changer is a tremendous app, right? And we're owned by Dick's Sporting Goods. And we are the #1 streaming, scoring, and communication app kind of in the sports realm, specifically in baseball and softball. We are working on other sports. We have a number of other sports that are rolling out the same kind of stuff that we have. But in the baseball world, we are kind of we're the Apple of the Google of our space. So if you're not using Game Changer to score games and stream games, I think you're missing out. Although a lot of people are using it, a lot of programs, players, families, and coaches are getting great value out of it. So we just, hope to continue to improve our product and get the word out about all the great features and things that we're doing right now as a company.
So Game Changer was launched in 2009. It was as an iOS app for baseball and softball. In 2016, Game Changer acquired by Dick's Sporting Goods. 17, you launched the Team Manager app that combines scorekeeping features from Game Changer and the Dick's Team Manager. But in 19 and 20, that's when you guys, and what kind of really led us to each other, you guys really started to launch into the beta testing your streaming efforts. And what has really become very, very valuable for not only players, but coaches and families and recruiters. I mean, the list goes on and on. Very similar to what the reasons why Ysn has been successful. You guys have taken that to a global scale. And when you look at that, streaming is everywhere. And now it's very common. And you guys have really started to embed that and embrace that into your platform. Why is it so important? And why are you loving every minute of it?
Well, I'll answer the first part first. I am loving it because I've been a coach for, over 12 years at many different levels, including the Division I level. And I know the pain points of, running a travel program that's trying to get their kids recruited. I know the pain points of parents trying to get video to send their stuff to get recruited. And just on the little league level or the youth level, the lower levels, just trying to get video of cool moments that their kids are in while they're playing. And all this is happening during very influential parts of these kids' lives, and sport is part of it. So, the streaming aspect now is so great because many people, again, are scoring games on Game Changer. When we started live streaming, and then more importantly, creating automatic highlight clips for everyone within those games, that's when really the game changed, so to speak. So, the value that it creates, you're scoring and streaming the game using Game Changer. You're getting a full game archive that you can go back and watch. You're getting automatic hit clips, defensive clips, pitching clips. And then really with one touch, being able to send those out to recruiters, to family members, to social media. And then as a coach or a program, being able to go back and look at those things for development really puts us in a whole nother realm as far as a one-stop shop for recruiting, entertainment, and development. And then you throw on top of that the great stuff that we've had for a long time and we continue to make better with the over 150 stats, spray charts, analytics, automatic recaps of the game. You're talking about everything you need to run a program in one spot, and everything you need to enjoy the game of baseball in one spot. And we also have a team communication app that's part of our app right in there. So you can talk about schedule changes, what uniforms you're using, different time scheduling events and stuff like that. So again, it's really a one-stop shop for everything you need for a program or a player or a family.
And that's the biggest thing. We talk about this rain that's happening in Northeast Ohio right now. You can use Game Changer as, a lot of people use Team Snap and they use just general, group text and things of that nature. You can use Game Changer to let people know that a game has been pushed back or a game has been canceled, things of that nature. It's more than just a scoring app, which is what most people use it for, which is great. That's what you want. But you're only using a tenth of the functions of the platform. How do you let people know? I know you guys do a great job with communicating the new things that are coming out, such as the automated clips. And obviously there's going to be some bugs to work out with that. And you guys have embraced the struggle a little bit, as we have. But how do you communicate and let people know all the great things that are happening with Game Changer that are constantly evolving?
Yeah, through in-app information and updates, through social media, through emails, and word of mouth. There's a lot to be said about word of mouth, and certain players and families using different things on the app, and then teaching other family and friends and what have you about the app. But also part of my job is to create awareness about all the great things we're doing with these new features. The direction that we're going as a company, and then also partnering with great people and organizations like yourself, and trying to grow kind of the landscape and the population of people that use Game Changer. There's so many valuable things that happen within the app, and you can get value out of it, whether you're a little league team or a college team. I joke about being able to be in a booth at a major league game and score 95% of what's happening on a high level with our app, with a phone or your tablet or what have you. So it's really an amazing thing that Game Changer has created. And I always go back to kind of the value it just creates for coaches, family, and players.
So we're seeing some of the great details that Game Changer has right now, and some questions coming out. Like Chris Ziegler saying, the updated version of Game Changer has been launched. When should we expect the classic version to be retired?
Well, the classic is kind of a staple, right? That's what we were founded on, and the tech and the kind of robustness of that app as far as the scoring, tournament features, a landing page for events that are happening. The new app has more tech, right? It was built more for using on mobile devices, right? Your iPad, your phone. But we are building out the capabilities similar to what we had in the classic. And we have some loyal classic, subscribers that they're not ready to make the switch yet. But they both function at a high level. There's no plan to get rid of the old app at this point. They kind of work side by side. They talk to each other a little bit, but not totally. They're kind of their own thing. And there's reasons to use one as opposed to the other. But we're trying to make the transition to, everyone using the new green app, formerly known as Team Manager, just because the amount of tech and the amount of unbelievable new features that we have, including the video and, like I said, the automatic highlight clipping. There's nothing really that is as good really on the market right now and is widespread as far as use.
Alex, as someone who has adopted Game Changer for years now, you have saved me so much time and so much.
It wasn't me; it was our engineers. I just
the AI is phenomenal, and one of my favorite features of this entire thing is your write-ups. I mean, literally right after the game, people, I know they realize because you see screenshots of it, but there are legitimate great write-ups that have names, have stats, things of that nature. With a company that is so based in technology, such as Game Changer, you've got to love seeing the AI capabilities continue to kind of creep into your game, so to speak, with better cameras, better technology, better things of that nature. It only makes your job, and I'm going to say this in quotes, easier on a daily basis, correct?
Yeah, I mean, what we're doing as a company on the back end to develop all these things that are happening, including AI, is really amazing. And I never miss an opportunity to thank the people in the company for making my job easier, so to speak, right? Because, I don't have to sell people on using Game Changer. Most of them already use it. There's plenty of people that we want to get on a platform, but once they get it in their hand, then they're blown away by what it can do, especially like you said, it's creating, AI articles about the game that are not just like, A through Z of what happened. It's pretty specific, even the headline. So, and then you throw on top of it, like you're talking about the live video and the clipping. It's amazing. And just by scoring the game, it's spitting out a ton of information and a ton of, let's go off the recruiting for a second, but a ton of memories that are there forever in video that you can share with your family and just enjoy. So those stories of dads hitting a big home run in a little league game or a travel ball game that no one believes them, we'll have it on video now. So. You can back up the story, so to speak.
Exactly. And that's why we're here. And you guys are big believers in youth sports. I mean, that's where you're really based from. And you've obviously gone through the gauntlet. You know, you're not that much older than I am, just a couple years. But I mean, you've gone from little league to semi-pro to the college ranks as a coach, as a player, all that stuff. This is one of those really cool pieces that we wish we had when we were kids, to be able to utilize some of the stories to match up nowadays. Maybe some of us don't. Maybe those stories have become fish stories. But from my standpoint as catchers, it'd be good to go back and look at the box scores, look at the headlines, things of that nature, and look at the video. From your standpoint, I'll ask you the same question that people have been asking me for the last week since we announced this partnership. What does YSN help Game Changer with all the capabilities that you guys have?
Well, I just get to hang out with you more and be on the phone more. So that was the brainchild of it. No, but YSN helps in so many ways. You guys reach such a wide audience. You obviously have a great platform, and to be able to work together to reach that together and grow that, we're excited for. And we've recently, since I came aboard in December, have been really pushing the issue on the streaming and the video side, and trying to figure out better ways to deliver really good quality video and game coverage to families, coaches, and programs. So we're really excited to work with you guys. And you guys are, so to speak, the experts on the video side and the production side. So we're just upping the game when we partner with, organizations like you and YSN Sports. And we're excited to, see where this takes us. And again, we're always pushing the issues on the tech side and how we can create more value. So I'm excited. I think we're going to learn a lot from you guys. I think we're going to help grow Game Changer and just the space of creating great content and video for youth sports. And it's going to be a great partnership.
What I'm looking to, I think the most, everybody in the baseball and softball realm, they know Game Changer. They're well acquainted with Game Changer. And if they're not, they should be. But it's the other sports that I'm really stoked about. And I know you have a huge passion to get this thing into the hands of as many people as you can, with whether it be the subscription model, the free model, whatever it may be. But it's, the football, the basketball, lacrosse. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Soccer, that we're really excited about, because now Game Changer essentially can take over as that. You're already the #1 world ranked scoring app. I mean, for you guys to constantly, and we just had a show about this, a marathon runner, essentially, it's her against her. And really right now, it's you against you. You guys are responsible for pushing yourself to get into these other sports. You could just be happy with baseball and softball, but a champion is never content. And you guys are training like you're #2, even though you're #1. Talk to me about that strategy.
Yeah, we're continually trying to get better, and we're trying to reach more families. We're trying to get more coverage, and we're trying to do it the right way, right? We're just not going to roll out features that sort of work or don't work, right? We want to build it the right way, and then be able to build the other sports as robustly as we have the diamond sports, which is baseball and softball. So the team is doing a great job, working tirelessly, many hours. To build scorekeeping, to build the clipping, to build kind of the infrastructure in those other sports, and soccer and football and volleyball, basketball, to get to a point where it's kind of even with our diamond sports. And that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of technology. It takes a lot of understanding the market and understanding how to deliver it, right? So every day is about getting in there and trying to make our platform better, and really affect youth through sport, right? That's really what it's all about. And I know we joked, we were trading some information the other day when our partnership kind of came to fruition. And, we have kind of a similar saying, right? For millions of users, the most important game of the week is their kids, right? So how do we deliver that to people that can't be right there? One of the things I always say, I kind of, thought of this one day in my, I jot stuff down all the time when I'm trying to get better and understand different things. And one of the things that I think is important about Game Changer is we are there, right? Whether you can be or not, we are there. And if we can be there, we can deliver it to you and your family. So we're really proud of that. We're really, we take it seriously. And again, we just want to affect youth through sport. And any way we can do that, we're going to do our best to deliver that.
So you get a lot of information. I'm sure you get the same as us, is you get people that love you and people that are frustrated whenever things don't go their way. What's the biggest misconception that people may have about Game Changer, whether it's downloading it or the cost of it or anything like that?
I honestly would say two things. And one of the things that I came to realize right away when I took this position is that Game Changer is not just a youth app. It's not a Little League app. It's not just a recreation app. It's great for those, those areas as well. But this is an elite level app with all the data that we were able to get from the stats, from low level to really advanced stats. And again, I know I keep going back to the video, but the video as well. This is an elite product that can cover demographic or population from Little League to professional baseball in some aspects. So that I think that's the first misconception. We're not just a youth app. We're an elite app. And I think the second thing is some of the barriers to entry for coaches, right? They're just old school, right? They want to do everything on pen and paper. They think it's a little bit hard to have some tech in their hands, whether it's a phone or an iPad to score a game. The biggest thing is just starting to use it, right? It's very user-friendly. There's information in the app that lets you practice scoring. We have a great support system online with Game Changer University where you can go and watch videos on how to score. But the basics are just like scoring in a book. We're just doing it digitally for you and then providing great information to then go to after the event for development. And just, in general to kind of check out what's going on with yourself or your team. So those two things, we're not just a youth app, we're an elite app. And the second thing is it's very easy and user-friendly to use. Just kind of, you got to take the first step and you won't you won't go backwards, so to speak.
So you guys have 27 million games scored plus 27 million plus games scored in the lifetime of the app. So I guess that begs the question, and you don't have to get too specific, but what's next for Game Changer?
Next is continually get better in diamond sports. Like I said, baseball and softball, just continue to make the product better for our users and grow these other sports. Again, we don't want to be one dimensional. We're trying to go across a bunch of different sports that really affect kids' lives on a daily basis and families. And really, I think we're scratching the surface. I think there's a lot of people out there that know what we are, that use us a little bit, or again, are a little bit nervous to make the transition. But once they do, there's no looking back. The value is incredible. When I'm at events activating and talking to families and teams, and they can't believe what is happening right in their hands while the game's going on. 30 seconds after their kid hits a home run, there's a clip right there that they can send to grandma, grandpa, friends, and family. So that's just one thing that people are amazed by. And, we're a tech company, but it's as simple as, putting an iPhone up on the fence and going live and then scoring a game on your phone. I mean, it's that simple. If you want to make it that simple, and you can get more advanced if you want, like what we're doing, right, with production level type stuff. But it is a really simple, hey, I'm at the game, might as well go live so we can make this a more special event, so to speak.
All right, so let's get off a Game Changer for a moment. I guess technically, let's talk about Alex a little bit. From being a coach to being a representative, an ambassador, and an employee of Game Changer, there's no better testimony for you. I mean, you get to go out and basically just tell your story and say, this is why I believe in the product so much that I want a paycheck from them. I want to be part of the change. What was it for you that really impressed you enough to make that jump?
Well, I've always known what game changer was, being around baseball. And to be honest with you, I had a misconception as well that it was, just basically a little league and youth app. And when I had the opportunity to, talk to the people at Game Changer and really start to dive in and do some research on what it was, I literally had an aha moment of like, I can't believe how amazing this app is and what they have created. So that was really the moment where I said, hey, I really want to be part of this. And I begged them to make me part of it, so to speak. But, 4 interviews later, with the team, the wheels were set in motion, and I was really, humbled and grateful and thankful to be a part of this and kind of be out front on the baseball side, which is really the bread and butter of Game Changer right now. So it's easy for me every day in that aspect. I just talk about the product and create awareness. And, I've been fortunate to be around a lot of really great people in the baseball world, and the baseball world is, basically one person removed, and we know someone and they know someone. So the, the ecosystem is really big, and just because I've been around a long time. So to be able to have these conversations on this side of the fence, so to speak, not as a coach anymore, it's been easy because Game Changers made it easy because the product is so amazing.
I think it's really cool that everybody there and the people that I've talked to, at least with your team at Game Changer, it's like a real legit sports team. There's people that have their roles. You got superstars like Sam and yourself, and being able to be a coach, you're able to kind of navigate those waters a little bit easier and get acquainted a little bit easier. Talk about why this team at Game Changer, but people think that it's hundreds of thousands of people, and it's not. Why is this team so special about what they're creating and why they're creating it?
Yeah, I just think everyone really understands what we're all about. And again, I keep going back to it, but just affecting youth through sport, right? And it's such a influential time for them. And, I think everyone understands that, kids are learning time management, they're learning teamwork, they're learning how to deal with failure. And this is all through sport. So if we can be a part of, these kids' lives as they're growing up and part of their families and make it a more enjoyable thing, our team is all for that as we build these features. And we're not a huge company. We just crossed the 100 employee mark this year. And we're pushing forward. We operate like a small kind of startup. We want to be kind of boots on the ground. We want to listen to our customers. We want to be right there for them as they are navigating the app. They're learning how to use it, and they're learning, again, how to create value for their organization or their team. So it's a special group. We had a big, really first time event in New York City where our headquarters are a couple months ago. It was the first time a lot of people in the company ever met because of COVID. So we all got together. It was a great couple days of, bouncing ideas off each other, learning more about, our team and our company and how we can continue to grow and really, really be a staple in the sports world on the tech side. And it was amazing. I mean, people that haven't met before, you would think that we were all working together for years and years and going to the office every day together. So there's this real team environment. And it's fitting, considering that we're affecting team sports kind of across the board.
I love it, man. All right, I got a question from a guy you may know. Gary Niddle says, any beta testing adding metrics such as spin rate, exit velo, and pitcher's velo in the works?
We have these conversations all the time about what the next move is with data and stuff like this. We're talking about potential integrations. We're talking about different things here and there. Things are on the roadmap. I wouldn't say that we're there yet. We do have a partnership with Pocket Radar right now, which integrates with the app to get kind of real-time velo on the scoreboard when you're scoring and streaming the game. But as far as like a deeper partnership with those things, spin rate, all that stuff, we're not there yet. I wouldn't say that we may not go there, but presently we're not there yet.
Well, as technology gets better, Game Changer will as well. So
For sure.
Alex Trezza, my friend, I thank you so much for stopping by. I'll call you after the show and we'll get things sorted out, but I appreciate your time today, brother.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. And again, I look forward to this partnership and keep doing our thing and making Game Changer a household name for sure.
Same thing. Be well, brother. Be well.
All right. Have a good show. Thanks.
There he goes. Again, legendary, my guy. And the conversation, I wish that you could be a part of our text messages because they are unbelievable. Alex is the eternal optimist, and he is a solution-based dude, 100% all day long. If there is not an answer, he will find it or he will make it. So, Alex Trezza, we appreciate you joining the show here today. Again, representative of Game Changer and the new partnership with your sports network. We're going to take a break. We come back. Still lots to talk about. Cancellations left and right as they continue. We'll keep you up to date on those. But first, a word from our awesome sponsors here on the Ysn Power Hour. Reliability, innovation, scale. These three values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Before your team steps up to the plate, we're here to help you step up your game. Game Changer is the #1 app for youth baseball and softball. Game Changer takes youth sports apps to a whole other level with incredible features like easy-to-use scorekeeping and free live streaming. It's time to retire the old spiral-bound scorebook. With Game Changer, your scorekeeper can quickly enter every play in the game right on a smartphone or tablet. Those plays are automatically translated into over 150 stats, including batting and pitching spray charts. And after every game, the app generates an article recapping the action, just like you'd find in the sports section of your local newspaper. Best of all, we've made it easy for you and your staff to access all of your stats and information in your Game Changer web portal on a mobile device or desktop. Staying organized throughout the season can be tough. Game Changer gives you team management tools that make scheduling games and practices easy and seamlessly integrate into the calendars of your parents and coaching staff. Plus, enhanced messaging and alerts, photo sharing, and RSVP features keep everyone who needs to know in the know. Game Changer is the first and only app of its kind to offer live streaming. Just mount a smartphone to the backstop and it's game on. Now everyone can follow the action in real time, including an on-screen scoreboard, on a phone, tablet, or even TV, no matter where they are on game day. And if you want to share some game highlights or help players create a recruiting video, our exclusive video clipping feature makes it easy. Fans can also tune in to a live animation of the game to follow the play-by-play. Oh, and one more thing. It's 100% free for you and 100% free of ads for everyone. You leave it all on the field. We put it all in the app. Make the move to Game Changer now. Game Changer. Stream, score, connect.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Thanks to Alex Trezza for stopping by. A lot of information. And if you guys have not subscribed or downloaded Game Changer, head over to gc.com or go to your whatever store that is, the Apple Store, the App Store, the Google Play. They keep changing the name on me, so it's hard to keep track with all the craziness that is just wherever you go to download apps. Download it on your devices. Have it. Sign your teams up for it. You can create your teams. Make sure your coaches are in agreement with it. But the reality is a lot of the people that I know, especially in the baseball world, are still like pad and paper people. They're still scorebook people. They're still people that want to utilize that eraser, and they want to have that. Man, I can't tell you how easy Game Changer is and how convenient it is for everybody, because from our standpoint, especially now from YSN, we've always wondered how we can make that connection to Game Changer so that way teams can utilize the video portion of it to watch. Like if you're stuck in traffic, and this has happened like this year, if you're stuck in traffic, you can turn on YSN or you can turn on the Game Changer app and get that YSN feed with an announcer. Like Alex was talking about, the production value of it. That's us, right? That's us. And that's why we're here in the partnership, because we're looking to make Game Changer like universal production, and YSN across Game Changer as universal production of teams across America, in the world. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And obviously the frequency and the volume of games that we do on YSN on a regular basis is very attractive to a company like Game Changer and a guy like Alex, because we can get the bugs out quicker, and they might be in mass, but we can get the bugs out really, really fast. So that way we can ramp up for tomorrow, because as we're finding out, and if you didn't already know, baseball is, if it rains, let's play tomorrow. And a perfect segue into that is the All-Star game tonight at Eastwood Field, just postponed. They're going to play tomorrow at 6:00. BCB, all their games canceled tonight, so there's no Little League baseball on the network. And I'm going to be honest with you, with Scene Park canceled, there's no baseball or no softball anywhere on the network tonight. So it is a night that is absolutely free of sports on the network, which does not happen very often, but Mother Nature raises her hand one more time and puts it right across my face. So we'll have one right back at her whenever we have 30-some games coming up this weekend on the network. When we talk about technology with Alex, and I think it's a perfect opportunity to talk about that technology. We've been so fortunate to live in a technological time. And I don't know if that's the real word for it. It sounds nice. So I'm going to take the 5 points on Scrabble and roll with it. A technologically advanced time is what we're living in. And people used to like poke fun at me a long time ago whenever I said that we were a technology company. YSN isn't a streaming company. We're not a broadcasting company. We're a technology company. And what I meant by that was, as technology gets better, so will we. I live by that. And if you've heard any of my interviews that I talk about YSN, I talk about that a lot. And Game Changer is just another level of that. And they are in the same boat, very, very same boat. Like, we are on this boat together. We quickly realized that. And with their AI and our broadcasting, our streaming abilities, some of the problems that we've already overcome that they had no idea about, it gives us a level up. It gives us an advantage. And I compare it to when the AFL and the NFL merged. And while the AFL had a lot of stars, the NFL had the following, and obviously is what it is today. So when you look at this, we're really building this together. And while we're not at the like acquisition or anything like that, at this point, it's an opportunistic point that we're at. And guys like Alex and I mean what I said, and I'm not just trying to blow smoke, is that team over there. He said they just crossed the 100-person mark. They're growing, and so are we. And to be able to work with people that are forward thinkers, that literally all they care about is affecting change in youth sports, in high school sports, in semi-professional, like to be that voice, and they do it at such a high level because it's free. And again, remember all the people that mocked us when we started, that we were going to burn out, and we were going to we'll never make it because we're going to go hungry because we're free. And listen, nothing's free as long as you create value. Right? Does that make sense? Nothing is free if you create value. People literally come to us now, and I'm so grateful. And I think Game Changers in that same boat, or has been in that same boat, especially when Dick's Sporting Goods came across and said, hey, we love what you're doing. We want to acquire you. We want to give you some capital to fund some things. And oh, by the way, now you can create change in people's lives. So now you can pay people to have this be a daily job for them. They go all in. That's where we're getting to. We're getting to people starting to pay attention and wanting to invest in YSN, whether it be through a sponsorship or an advertisement, or people wanting to buy the company. Like, I'm getting emails of people of acquisition that love what we do and want to buy the company. Not there yet. Not there yet. We've gone many nights at home wondering what we're going to eat and how we're going to put food on the table and things of that nature in the early goings of this company, to sell now and to sell out to someone who doesn't have the same interest. So if and when YSN is ever sold or ever kind of acquired, it is going to have to be the right people for the right reasons at the right time, because it takes me back to Wolf of Wall Street, when I'm not leaving. You know, there's a lot of people that have targeted us at this point, and I'm sure people aren't. Maybe they are surprised. Some people are not going to be surprised, because I've always been a firm believer that if you do the right things, it's never the wrong time to do them. And, you know, Alex is one of those guys, and he led by example. He said, hey, listen, grab on, hold on. We're going to go through these choppy waters. We're going to let people know who you are and why you're here. And I think they're going to dig it. And surely enough, that's why a partnership is formed. You know, everybody that's on our wall, you know, from organizations to schools to, I mean, they have to understand the core values that we have at YSN. We're loyal, we're local, we're live. We care about kids. That's why we care. We care about sports. We care about kids. We care about sports. That's it. The money will come. I was told at a very early age in what I was trying to do in life, is that if you are passionate about something, don't worry about the money. The money will provide itself. And people are probably rolling their eyes and saying, yeah, especially in the brink of a recession, with gas $5 a gallon. Yeah, keep talking about how money will come. And it's worked. I've been very fortunate. It's worked. And it seems to be working for everybody that comes to YSN. You know, while we have a few guys that are, you know, or were about the money, it's not what it's about. You know, if you're about the money, you're not going to like this very much. It's about the passion. It's about the kids. It's about the families that you meet, the conversations that you have after a game, before a game, during a game with kids. It's about conversations like we had with Alex, and understanding it'll all be there, but you got to put the work in. And when you worry about things like the finances of it, and I get it, not everybody's in that situation where they can just give up, but not everybody's also in the situation where they're willing to put in 70, 80, 90 hour work weeks to make something come to fruition and happen. And those kind of people are here at YSN. Those kind of people are at Game Changer. And that's why it's a perfect partnership. You know, when and I'll let you in on a little secret. When we're talking about Channel 21, WFMJ, Jack Gerdick, who has become a very, very good friend of mine and a mentor, you know, we have great conversations via text messages. And by the way, Jack, I hope everything's well with you. I hope you're feeling better. It's his belief in us launched us. Like, and I'm talking, and not that we weren't anybody, but I'm going to be real. The confidence that he had in YSN and that he exuded in our conversations, gave me the confidence to have a little bit of swagger and make some mistakes that we otherwise wouldn't have made. And, then you look on to, some of the partnerships we have with Boardman Community Baseball, with Class B, with Ysn Park. If it weren't for these people and these partnerships that we continue to create and push the envelope and tell, hey, listen, you give us a shot and we'll make you happy. We'll make you excited. If it weren't for these people in those places, in positions, Ysn wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking right now. And we wouldn't be in the position we're in. I'm grateful, and everybody here is incredibly grateful. And we've worked incredibly hard to get here. And it's just another example of why sports is so good for so many, is because if it weren't for sports, if it weren't for my interest in sports and many of the interests of this team that I have, we wouldn't put on 426 baseball and softball games. We wouldn't push the limits. We wouldn't try to better ourselves because we don't care. But we do. We care about ourselves. We care about your kids. We care about your programs, care about your coaches, care about the people that matter in the community. And we want to continue to grow sports in the communities, no matter the cost. We want to be there. We want to be there with our hand out so we can help you up. Some teams aren't going to have 5 players in basketball this year. I was on a conversation with a coach earlier today. I'm really concerned. He's really concerned. A program could not have a basketball program. A school could not have a basketball program. It's a scary thing. It's a really, really scary thing. And when you look at it from a parent's perspective, you have to start thinking, okay, do I take my kid somewhere else? And then you have to go through all those motions. It's kind of like when you're young and you go through breakups, right? You don't want to have to do it, but you always have to put your family first, right? You have to make sure that you're looking out for your first priority, which is your family. And if you look at that program and they don't have a program now, you look at that school, they don't have a program now, there's no guarantee they'll ever get it back. I remember when I was in school, East Palestine did not have a baseball program for a length of time. And I know that from my standpoint, this was before open enrollment existed. My parents were looking about how, I was in love with baseball. I would have been crushed. And my mom knew that baseball was the only way to get me into college. It was the only way for me. It was a pathway. Let him get really good at baseball and let him go into college, because he's not going to do it on his own merit. He's not going to do it because he wants to go study. That was never in the cards for me. But if it was an opportunity to go play baseball, I would have to do what I had to do to play baseball, which if that meant study, I would do it. You look at these schools now that are on the border of losing programs. They talk about 8-man football and how that could be devastating. I'm of the other. I mean, if you don't have the kids, 8-man football could be the best thing that happens to your school, because you still have football and you still are able to keep those kids there. You're still able to utilize what you're trying to do. And you can create something that nobody else has at this point. You can create that niche. And I think you have to have the right mindset to do it. That conversation I had with a coach today was borderline devastating to me, because he's a good friend. And he's someone who, he puts his all into it. He's got kids of his own. There's opportunities for him to just say, you know what, I'm going to hang up the whistle for a little bit, let my kids do their thing, and then move on. I can always come back. But these coaches give their time, their resources, from their families that many don't really appreciate. I would argue many don't really appreciate. Because when you're a coach, people just expect you to show up, to be there, to know everything. These are humans. These are human beings that we're talking about. And the reality is the majority of them, especially when you're talking about travel ball and and community baseball and other things that they're not getting paid. They're either volunteering their time or they're doing it because their kid's a part of it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the beginning and end of it. And I've seen so many different people just show up, drop their kid off, and hey, have fun for 2 hours. While coaches are there for your kids, they're not there to be babysitters. I had a conversation with a person not too long ago, and the subject of, well, why would you cancel practice, or why don't you have more practices, or why don't you listen? At certain levels, you still should and can take your kid out to the backyard and let them shoot hoops, or play catch with them, or throw them a couple ground balls, or heaven forbid you pitch to them and let them crank a couple. Like, there's still an element of parental control that you can have besides telling a coach where your kid has to bat in the lineup or what position your kid has to play. Parental control means that you have control over how your athlete develops. And it starts at home. And it starts with respect. Because odds are, if you don't respect that coach, they aren't either. And it's not just those one-on-one conversations you have after practice. It's the conversations that you have about the coach, about the team, in your car ride home. Because if you're negative Nancy and you're saying all the things that the coach did wrong or that other kid did wrong, what do you think your kid's hearing? What do you think your kid's going to talk about? And we all know that loose lips sink ships. And it's only a matter of time before that kid brings those subjects up to the coach or the other players, and out of the mouth of babes, right? Out of the mouth of babes. And people are going to, they're not going to wonder where they heard that from. They're going to know exactly where they heard it from. And then you're on the outside looking in. And it just puzzles me when we got to this point and how we got to this point. With artificial intelligence, which is seemingly probably smarter than us at this point, because it doesn't argue amongst itself. It relies on facts, it relies on numbers, it relies on science, it relies on data. Boom, done. We rely on, well, it must have been him or her or this person. The coach is holding me back, or I don't like the coach, or the coach doesn't like me. And we talked about it on Running Point today. There's a level in this world where it goes from just playing for fun to playing to win. And I think these communities have to understand, and I'm not singling out anyone, these communities should understand when it is appropriate to do that. It's not always the same age. And it's not always the same age every year. Some kids can handle it, some kids cannot. And that's something for a leader of an organization to figure out. But I can promise you, by making the game competitive, not fun, you're not going to keep those numbers. If you're trying to play for outs and T-ball, if you're trying to make your kid the Mark McGuire of coach pitch, some of those things aren't going to last long. Not everybody's kid is shortstop / pitcher / center fielder. Not every kid's a quarterback. Not everybody's kid's a point guard. Not everybody's kid is a front row in volleyball. Not everybody's kid's a goalie or an attacker in soccer, rather. The problem is we've created these travel ball teams in many cases to make sure our kid gets to do what we want them to do, instead of teaching them how to be a role player and be part of the greater good of a team. The team mentality in sports and in life in general, in our society, is fading away quick. And the only way to double down and make sure that we are established is the fact that we need people to step up and know right from wrong. And that doesn't mean lighting up your neighbor or your, another parent at a ball game. It means having the conversation with your kid. Start at home. Start it at home and let them understand. Let them ask questions. Be uncomfortable for a little bit. We've gone so comfortable being comfortable that we don't even like the idea of growth because it's uncomfortable. We don't like the idea of intellectual curiosity with our own kids because we've become so accustomed to, you do what I say or else. The old, 'cause I said so, right? If a kid asks a good question and stumps you, tell them you stumped them. Or they stumped you, rather. Tell them that they stumped you. That's a positive. If your kid is asking good questions or they have good answers, you got to give it up to them. You can't just sit back and say, hey, go ask coach why you're not playing shortstop. Because they're going to go ask coach why they don't play shortstop, why they don't bat third. And the coach is going to say, well, you missed every single grounder last week. And oh, by the way, you're batting 100 over the last 50 at-bats. And they're going to bring that back to you. And they're either going to lie to you, which you don't want, or they're going to be truthful, which you really probably don't want if you don't like being uncomfortable. Got to get tougher. We got to get collectively tougher as a team, as families, and it's got to start in the home from our standpoint. The technology is going to get better, but the parenting and the team aspect has to get just as good, or else it's all for naught. It's all for naught. All right, let's hit the man, I got to get out of this. I needed like a co-host so I don't go on these tangents of, you should be a better parent. You should be a better coach. I feel like such a jerk at the end of these shows nowadays. Let's get to the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Joe Dickey Electric, what's your spark? Presented by our friends over in North Lima at Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them there in North Lima or visit them on the web at dickieelectric.com. And the negative spark is obviously going to be the weather. Man alive, did I have such a good time last night. I had a 17-1 game and a 7-0 game. And most people, like when I talk to the guys and say 17-1 and 7-0, you hear them go, "Ooh, that stinks. Oh, we hate that." It's different. It's different when you're with the younger group. I love being able to broadcast Little League Baseball. I love BCB, second home. Scene Park and the Field of Dreams, my favorite places. Number one, because it's really close to Sheetz, and you can go get one of those cheese pretzels, which out of this world. Cue wife eye roll right there. But also, if you saw the interviews last night, and I was hesitant to do them, but I'm never going to hesitate anymore. Having Jack Gokala and Gavin Sentner interview. Both of them had home runs. Gavin hit over the left field fence, and Jack had one that went in right center field, and he just kept running. Just kept running for an inside the park home run, but he also had 14 Ks. To interview those youngsters and to have them have that look in their eye of, this is my first interview. This, I've never done this before. That look of, I'm not sure about this, but to get complete calmness whenever they started. Still one of my favorite things that we do. We talk about the long format player profiles, the coaches corners, which is my absolute favorite. If I could just make a business of doing that, I would. But interviewing these kids, which we're going to have more of them on our show throughout the summer, which I'm really excited for, because there's nothing like having these youngsters on and talking about baseball and their excitement and who their role models are and things of that nature. Absolutely love it. So that's my spark. The weather sucks. I'm tired of we're over all of the cancellations and the delays and things like that. So in case you didn't catch it, we will have the All-Star Classic at Eastwood Field tomorrow at 6:00. We'll make sure that we're there at YSN. And for those of you who can't make the trip, and we will have another great night of baseball and softball here on the network on Wednesday. Scotty Mincher will join us tomorrow during the show. I want to thank Alex Trezza for joining us today. I want to thank you for sticking around and being part of the conversation and putting up with me for another hour of your week. See you tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on your sports network. Peace. YSN